I'm Angela Walker. That's my name.
This is the last take for the night. Understand that's kinda late. And I gotta get home to my son, cause he's so special to me. I mean, I gotta see him, I need to breathe him. That's my baby, don't call me crazy. I love the studio, but I love him more. Let me give you what I got, so I woke up in the morning feeling fresh to death.
So Angela, how'd you get started with hair?
I have always been a lover of hair. I used to choose my Barbie dolls. That's my son.
Hey,
Watch out,
Francie.
I used to choose my Barbie dolls based off of like who had the best hair, like whose hair was the longest, whose hair was so long I could cut it and still braid it. I was that weird child.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. And then that love just transpired into middle school when I started to do cornrows of friends. And then by the end of middle school, I was doing cornrows for like $5. And it was only because people were giving me money. I didn't even ask for money. Like, I really just loved doing it. And I just continued to master my craft throughout the years.
So who influenced you? Who was your hair role model?
That is a good question. I'm not too sure I have one. No, there wasn't someone like early on where I looked at them and I was like, that's who I want to be like. I never had that person. I can say that after I knew what I wanted to do as far as doing natural hair goes and knowing that I wanted to be in the natural hair industry, from that research sparked like interest in other people who had done it before me, such as Anu Prestonia, who is the owner of Kemet Kinks in New York. That's one of the most prestigious natural hair salons. Pamela Farrell, who is the owner of Cornrows and Company in the DC area, another very influential person who was doing it. These women were doing it before it was popular. So they are really the people who I look up to, because it's because of them why I'm able to do what I do, why all of us are able to do what we do in the natural hair industry. Those were the people that laid a very strong foundation for us.
Have you been able to contact any of them? Have they been mentors in any way?
They have not been mentors. I have met both of them recently, actually, at HU. They had an event there, and I was just lucky enough to meet both of them in one great night. But as far as keeping in contact with them to be mentors, unfortunately not. So hopefully I will be able to meet up, or I don't know, talk to them in some kind of way sooner than later. Yeah.
Did you teach yourself to do hair?
For the most part, I would say that I remember my sister teaching me the basics of cornrows when I was like 7, and I tried it once and I didn't get it, so I just never tried it again until I was like 6th grade. I was like, let me try this again, and it sucked, but I just kept doing it until I got really good. And then from there, I would say maybe I'd watch some YouTube videos earlier on. But similar to like math, once you have the foundation, you can just kind of put together bits and pieces of different parts of the craft and create something new and beautiful.
So you were saying that when you started doing hair in middle school, you didn't ask for money, it was just that people were giving it to you. When did the business side of you doing hair start?
I'm not even sure if it has started, to tell you the truth. My accountant was just making fun of me the other day because he was like, you're having a lot of fun, Angela, but you're not really making any money. And I think money for me still, it's kind of funny because it comes, but I've never really cared for it in the sense of trying to get a lot of it. So I would say that the business sense, as far as knowing my worth, is coming, but it hasn't come yet. I still think that what I charge my clients is probably below what I possibly could get, and I still love doing it. So the business side is here because I have a salon, but it's not fully here because I have not been able to make it as lucrative as it should be.
How did you get started professionally? What was your first salon?
The first salon that I worked at was called Natural Shapes. It was located on New York Avenue in DC, and it was a very eye-opening experience in the sense of I learned a lot. Like, I don't think there was a better place for me to go as a first salon. I learned so much when it came to doing hair. The owner, she was very meticulous about doing hair. She was a perfectionist when it came to that, and I think that transpired over into my work, my craftsmanship, knowing that it's okay to be a perfectionist. And later on, I learned that timing needs to come into play too. So sometimes you kind of got to let go of being a perfectionist. But that was my first salon, and it was a great experience for what it was.
What can you say? What one thing can you attribute to having learned at that salon, aside from being perfection? Was there any particular craft that you perfected while you were there?
No. Where's my son? Okay. Any particular craft that I perfected while there? No. But that place gave me the foundation that I was able to use to perfect my craft later on.
Gotcha. I had another question. Has it always been natural hair? Were you ever the press and curl neighborhood girl?
Yeah, I was. I was the press and curl neighborhood girl. My best friend Glenn will tell you that I used to call her all the time and say, "Can I come over and press your hair? I just want to practice." So that is what I did for a little bit, and then I started doing perms and rod sets, and I was really good with the flat iron. And then after my freshman year at Maryland, I cut off my hair, and since then I have not done any straight styles.
New message from Damon Long.
What is... what inspired the change? What inspired you to go natural?
I always try my best to find a way to say this without being too militant, but it's becoming more and more difficult. So I'll just say it however it comes out. After my first class, I just kind of realized that, well, I shouldn't say I realized, for those of you that wear straight hair who are going to be watching this, but I should say that I came to the realization that there was no purpose in me straightening my hair or straightening others' hair, because I strongly felt that it was us trying to mimic a European aesthetic. And I have no reason to try to do that.
So was there any particular class? What was said that...
I don't really know if it was one thing. It was probably just a conundrum of everything that I was learning at that time. I mean, learning about Black history in America, learning about the slave trade, and you know what I mean, and just very different influential people, A.Trap Brown and Angela Davis, and reading more into Malcolm X's life, and just realizing, like, we are beautiful. Like, why would I try to change our aesthetic to fit another race? Like, we're beautiful how we are, and I would love to inspire people to do that, and to come to the same realization that we don't necessarily need to straighten our hair, you know what I mean, to look beautiful. Like, our hair is beautiful as it is. And so from there, I believed it from then, and that's just what I've been preaching and what I've been doing.
Oh, so you mentioned Angela Davis earlier. Is she your namesake? Or were you named after her at all?
I was not named after Angela Davis. My parents are far from Black Power people. But when I was in college, people remembered my name because of Angela Davis, and I wore a fro that looked very similar to hers, the picked out fro. So, I mean, that's our only connection, I guess.
So when you look back on Black history, who is the most, who can you identify with the most?
I can identify with Malcolm X, I think. And I think that I can identify with him because I loved his unapologetic way of embracing Blackness. I think that's a fabulous thing to do, to say that this is who I am, and just because I love me, it doesn't mean that I hate you. So Black love isn't necessarily white hate. And I think that sometimes it's interpreted as such. But I just loved his militancy, his like, this is who I am, accept me as I am, and I don't give a damn about what you got to say about it.
How do you balance being a businesswoman and motherhood?
That, my friend, is the question of the century. I don't know. I have no idea. I've just been blessed to to have my son really the poster child for being raised, by the village. Me and his dad, we just happen to have family that's always there. So he's either on my off days, he's with me, as you can see, or he's with his dad, or he's with Poppy, who's his grandfather, or he's with one of his uncles, or with one of his grandmothers. So, I think that that's a great thing. And that's really helped me to balance work and him, because I know that he's around people that love him, that they are fully invested in his development. But the balance is very difficult, because when you have to be at the salon, when you think you're going to be there from like noon to 5, and you end up being there from noon to 10, you know what I mean? It's just a blessing to have family who's there to help you with that. But balance, I don't think I have a balance just yet. I think my first year was very heavily the salon, and I'm hoping to be able to kind of to balance out that scale, or maybe shift it more so to my son and less of the salon. I don't think I found that balance yet.
You mentioned the salon. First of all, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
At the salon.
Yes.
Well, what is your salon called, and where did that name come from?
It's called N Natural Hair Studio, and we're located in Silver Spring, Maryland. And the N stands for Ndiagne. A friend of me and my best friend in high school, his last name was Ndiagne, and he's from Senegal, and he told us that it meant strong hair. And when I heard that, I loved the name without even knowing the definition, and I was like, that's what I'm going to name my salon when I grow up. I actually didn't name it Ndiagne because no one knows how to pronounce it and no one knows how to spell it. So I just called it N Natural Hair Studio, and whenever people ask, I let them know what the N stands for.
It's very chic, by the way. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Thank you.
The name is pretty chic.
Thank
okay.
you.
So how has that transition been from being an employee in someone else's salon to now owning your own? Has it been a smooth transition?
Smooth transition. I would say so. I mean, lucky for me, the salon that I was at, it was a very independent salon. And what I'm trying to do is create something where you realize that independence isn't necessarily a great thing. I'm trying to create a team of women who understand the importance of a team. And so at many times I still don't think of myself as an owner. Like, I think of myself as a team of women who are together in this thing called N Natural Hair Studio. So I would guess the transition has been smooth, but I still don't think of myself, for whatever reason, as like an owner of a salon.
Special. What do you think is special or different about N Natural Hair Studio? They're getting a lot of buzz in the area now.
I think we're different because of the team aspect of the salon. I think many salons, the owner is thought of as someone who's this very superior being to everyone else, and you just kind of follow their rules. And I think that at N Natural Hair Studio, it's a team effort to create a fun, safe, and welcoming environment for employees and clients alike. And from that aspect, we're able to have stylists work on their craft and just focus on their craft. And we're able to have other women work on answering the phones and customer service and being able to make that client feel special. So you don't have a stylist who's run down trying to be 10 people at one time. And I think that makes a very great spa-like experience for anyone who comes into our salon.
How did you select the team members? I thought I heard you call them belles. That's very special, very different, very endearing. How did you select the belles?
Yes, so everyone who's not a stylist is called a belle. Shampoo belles and front desk belles. Just like how I'm not comfortable with the name owner, I'm not comfortable with the name receptionist or shampoo girls. It just doesn't sound like fun, and I think that it's necessary that a title means a lot. And so to be a belle, it's just that you're this very sophisticated, beautiful woman who is running something. And the way how we selected at the salon is that you have to know someone there in order to be able to be brought onto the team. So it creates a space of friendship, in a sense, of accountability, Because if I bring someone on, I'm going to make sure that person is doing good, and they're going to make sure they're doing good because they don't want me to look bad. And we already get along, so they'll probably get along with everyone else who's there. So we'll probably stick with this until I'm told it's illegal. So, yeah, that's how we do that.
That's very special. So what do you think is the vibe of the salon? Is it a very chic, structured place, or is it a chill?
I would say that it kind of depends on who's working. I would say regardless, it feels chic. But depending on who the belle is, like the belle really runs the salon. So if the belle who's running it at the time is very time conscious, is very much of having a sense of emergency all the time, then the salon is going to feel like very chic, extremely organized. If the belle who's running the salon is very laid back, very chill, then the salon is going to feel very chic and chill. Like we just kind of lay back and just like whatever comes. So I think it really depends on the belle of the day. Whoa. I think it depends on the belle how the salon is feeling for that day. And it changes between belles and clients and the music and, I mean, all of that create the atmosphere. Well, honey, that's a very good question. Why you got boogers in your nose? It's nasty.
So in the past year, can you name a single best experience, a single favorite experience, or favorite day?
My favorite day was 2 days ago. It was the day after our 1-year anniversary, and it was the most beautiful day in the DMV. I didn't go into work. I was able to just sit around and reflect on everything that had taken place over the past year. I was able to go down to H Street, and we had some H&N pizza and dangerously delicious pies, and it was a great day.
So how did vegan life come about? Did that go hand in hand with the natural hair thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think that when you change one aspect of your life, then it's kind of a domino effect. And I think that a lot of black women who are transitioning into natural see that. To go from a very chemical, artificial type hairstyle to a very natural way, and to see the benefit of that, you start to think, what other things am I doing that I can change to being natural that'll probably benefit me in a very positive way. And that's the same way I felt when it came to my eating habits. And I think a lot of people, that's the transition. Like it might be hair first, then food, or food first, then hair. And you just realize you are visibly seeing the benefit of it. And that makes it a big difference.
So what about your hair journey? You've gone from relaxed to in college, you chopped everything off. How's it been since then? And where are you going?
I think that my hair journey has been very interesting. I believe that I put a lot of my neat creativity into my clients, and so for my hair, it's always just been a very wild and free thing. Excuse me, honey. I first had a bush that I just kind of rocked. I just woke up and wore it how it was, and I've now transitioned into freeform locks, and as you can see, they just kind of do what they do. I don't really put that much effort into my own hair. And I think that's just because of how much time and creative effort I put into others.
So, what big things are coming up for you and in the future?
For the future of our salon, the next big thing is our big natural hair show. It's called the Naturalista Hair Show. It's going to be in downtown Silver Spring, Sunday, July 28th of this year, 2013. And we're going to have vendors, we're going to have classes, and we're going to have a natural hair showcase. Right now, yeah, we're going to go inside, honey. Right now, we just got our main sponsor and our main vendor today, actually. And our main sponsor is going to be Alicane Natural. You might know them from YouTube as Black Onyx 77, Rochelle Graham. And our main blogger is going to be Natural Chica, a.k.a. May. So I think it's going to be a great show. We have a lot of great hands pulling it together. And we're working with Taryn, who did Fro Fashion Week in Atlanta. So that's what's the next big thing for us, and more big things to come. It's a big deal. Are you in?